YouTube fans, here again. And how about this one, directed by Daros Didaros. Never got his name right, but well known for this film, Deep Red. It was called Deep Red, and it was also called The Rose Pud, or Red Rose. Oh, it's called Red Rose, if I remember right there. And it had a few different titles, but in the olden days, the early days, it was called Deep Red. And David Didaros did a good one. Originally, when it came out on video, it was released as a video nasty. But then over the time, it was taken off the list and was put back on video. Some of it was heavily cut, but you can now get to see it in its track being cheap red. And it's that a good one, this. Yep, it's that a good one. And it's more like a murder mystery, who done it, and so on. And as like I say, it starts off, and the music is iconic. The music is brilliant. If you've never heard the music, I'd probably play it, but copyright and everything. But the music is iconic. It's iconic. Now there was two different versions. Got the one in its own concept where it's obviously in its own language. There's a few extra scenes, and it wasn't shown on the one that was called Deep Red. And then the one we got, you can now get to see that, or the theatrical with two different edited versions of the film, right? So that's it. You've got the iconic music, and you've got a footage, a saddle, I should say, where you see a guy getting stabbed to death, and you've got this little boy, very little boy, looks shocked. So you've got the idea it's his father being stabbed to death. Now, one thing about David Didaros films is when he does his films, he does them very, very stylish, very slick. Like when you see the film Suspiria, he mixed all different colours, made it very stylised. You only got to a death scene or brutal murder. It's hard to explain, but films that say like Star Bay, films like this, films like Suspiria, films like Opera, films that say like Inferno, he's very good at making a film or a scene very stylish, and he's using this. So, like I say, you got the sock of the little boy, and then in one version you've got this guy, and he's a music guy. He does music, and teaches music and everything. Another version, it's got a different type of version to it. So you've got this this is going on in the one version. He's teaching people music and everything. You've got this woman in another room. He's a psychic. And if you've seen it before, so in another one, what was a video nasty, being the Nighttime Murders. Never seen Nighttime Murders? She plays a total bitch in it. She plays a bitch. I always like this. I always look at this film, where she gets the well preserves. Granted, I know she's an actress in real life and go around doing the horrible things you see in Nighttime Murders. But that's how I see it. So she's a psychic, and she senses that someone's murdered someone. Obviously, they open up that lad that's witnessed the murder. The murderer that's done that. And I love the scene. It's very stylized. That's what I mean about David Didaros films. He's very good at stylising his films. So you've got the music again. You've got a bit where she puts eyeliner on her eyes. And then it comes to the scene where you get a knock on the door, and the woman was a psychic. Same as it's been Nighttime Murders. She gets axed by a meat cheaver. Very brutal. Then you've got our mate, who's the main character. He's walking along with his mate, and he witnesses it. You see the face going through a window. You see the neck getting cut. Gets axed to death, and he witnesses it. So he runs out with him and his mate. Finds the poor woman's body. And then obviously they let him off because the police come. They know he hasn't done it, but they expect he could be a witness. But he becomes addicted, this guy. He wants to solve a murder. He's witnessed this murder and he wants to solve it. So he gets a friend who's a mate of his, female friend, who's funny enough, he's in that a lot of David Didaros films. And they want to investigate this murder. And it's that, it's cat and mouth. It's who's done it, and so on. But there's one murder in this, and I always wonder, right? I always wonder whether John Carpenter are the ones what decided to make Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, not the shitty Rob Zombie remake sequel, whatever you want to call it, the original one from 81. If you remember the scene in Halloween 2 where you've got this really pretty nurse, she's naked, and Michael Mathers sneaks up to her, and she's licking his lips and thinking it's somebody else, and he sees it's Michael, and he dips her face in boiling water. Really brutal scene. I always wonder whether the ones what want to make Halloween 2 a little bit more violent than it originally was. I always wonder whether they saw this film because I find it very funny that the death in this, the murder in this is very similar. But I'll tell you what, I'll get onto that bit. So you got this woman in her house and she hears saddles. Some reason it goes dark all of a sudden. She kills a bird by accident. Hopefully it's special effects, so there's no animal cruelty there. But she's walking around, she gets hit on the head, knocks her out a little bit. Then the murderer, you don't see the murderer dog, because it's a who done it. But I like the bit he turns the tap on. And you think it's going to be a typical drowning. You see it done in a lot of films, but it's not. He uses boiling water, dips her face in boiling water. The poor woman steaming in agony, and that's in his show. Suffers her on the floor and opens the window. She tries to write the word of the name of the killer, but obviously she passes out because she's in a lot of pain and agony. And I'm assuming because of the cold air and it's gone into the system, I'm assuming it's killed her. So he got our mate again, he comes in, he finds the poor woman, all her face is all messed up and burnt up, all puffed out, really horrible jewelry effect, really good makeup effect. But when I watched that, I was thinking, did the ones that did Halloween 2, were going to make it more violent, did they see this film? Because they find it very similar, and now this poor woman gets it, and now the poor nurse gets it in Halloween 2. I remember saying that before on the review. You get another Dory death. You got this one die again, trying to find out what's going on. But you get a Joe in it, like it's walking Joe. A lot of people may know this iconic picture. It's got big dummy teeth. It's got a suit, a dicky bow, and it has this weird cheapy laugh. And the die rats this moving Joe, what's moving about. It's still moving around. Its arms are flapping everywhere. It looks laughable, but it looks cheapy at the same time. Again, you don't see the killer. The poor guy gets twatted on the head. I love the bit where he bashes half his poor teeth in and then he just fucking slams him and finishes him off. I thought it was that brutal scene. So Ame, his friend, his woman friend, she gets stabbed but she doesn't get killed. Then you think at first it's going to be his mate, because always through the film he's got a mate who's been acting a bit funny. And he confronts him over it. And this big fan comes out of nowhere and drags him about, and very funny death scene really. He gets dragged about and the next thing you know his car comes out of nowhere and splatters his fucking head. But before all that, there's a bit where there's an old building, he breaks in because he's so curious, and he finds the body of the aftermath of this poor fucker what got killed in the opening. Then he goes back into the house, the one where that woman was murdered, and he remembers something. And this is spoilers for people who've never seen Deep Red. I would recommend it. It's a good film. It came out in 1975. It's a classic. There's a bit where he's looking for a mirror, and he thinks, "There's that weird face." When I was looking in the mirror, there's a weird face staring at me, and he figures it out. There wasn't a weird face. It was a woman. Now it's the spoilers. The lad who got killed, who was his mate, who got his head splattered. Go right to the beginning where you see the little boy who witnesses his father getting stabbed. That's him. That was a couple of years when he was a kid. His dad got murdered. The body, the dye found, all messed up, rotten tops. That was his dad. And the mother was the killer. So the mother comes out, tries to kill our main character. And I love the death scene in this. He has the chain on her neck. It drags her on this lift, rips her fucking head off. You don't see the head get come off, but you get the idea that it's been ripped off. Our main character stands there. She has effects enough blood all on the floor. End of movie. And I love it. You've never seen Deep Red, I recommend it. David Didaros made a masterpiece, a fucking masterpiece. In fact, I've got it on DVD. I'll show you the movie I'm on about. Bear with me. This is the movie I'm on about, with the main character here, main actor, sad to say he's no longer with us, may rest. He's the one that plays the main character. That's the cheapy Joe I was talking about, gets smashed up. As you see, had two different cycles, two different names. The director, very, very good actor. Well, actually, that's not the actor. That's the director. The director. It's original title of the movie, Jeep Red. Like I say, originally was a video nasty. Took off the shelf. They got rid of the video nasty. It was timmed down a bit. This is happy to say it's a totally uncut one. Eventually, I might get it on a Blu-ray disc because I believe the Blu-ray is a lot more beautiful to look at. But it's still a dud in this. It's still a dud in. This actor here, I saw him, I can't remember his fucking name now, but he's a well-known British actor, been out a lot of things. Sad to say, no longer with us, may he rest. Very good looking die in that era. The scene where the poor woman gets killed. The character when he was a kid, that's his daddy. There he is again. And so on. Hopefully that cow shut the fuck up, was diving like a maniac. Maybe she saw a Jeep Red thought he splattered someone's head if you can hear a car driving outside. But yeah, it's a good one this, Jeep Red. Lots of special features. You get the theatrical one and you get the one I said. The foreign one's bitty dud. There's a few extra scenes in it what's not in the theatrical. Nothing to run home about. And you can get it where they mix it in, but the only thing is you've got it in foreign, so when you hear the actors talking, one moment they're talking Italian or whatever language they're talking, and then the next minute they're talking our language again. So that's a weird one really, how they mixed it in. But there's a version out there like that, or you can get the one like this where you get two of the edited versions, one in subs where it's in Italian and one where it's in English, which is Deep Red and the name of that film there. But it's a good one this. I say it's a murder mystery there. Some of the deaths, some of the murders are diabolical, but I like the style of it because you don't see the killer. And I know it's like a lot of David Sedaris films where you don't see the killer. It kind of reminds me of Starabay, which was a video nasty in its day. In that film, you don't see anyone getting killed. You just see the PV shot. You see someone get their head bashed in. You don't see the killer doing the murders. And I like the way that it's done. It's stylish. It's hard to explain unless you see the film, you know, copyright. So it isn't very good how they did that. You know what I mean? Like the bits where it's a bit laughable in Standard Bay, you got their hats moving about. But it stands similar to the film I've just been blabbing on about, Deep Red. You know, some of the death scenes done, like the poor guy gets his head bashed in and you see this fucking, can't think, no, was it an axe? Some sort of axe or some sort of weapon, and he goes to kill that guy, and it goes all the way down to the poor fucker's head. I love that. The woman gets stabbed by a meat cleaver, and you see it going down again. You don't see the killer, but you see like the PV. So I'm a sucker for them sort of effects. You know what I mean? I think it's very done. It's definitely done film. It's a murder mystery, so you can never get your hands on it. David Sedaris did a good one there. And the next one I'll talk about is films. Is Suspiria. Suspiria, no one's ever seen it. Damn good film, come out in the late 70s. But into them, be smart, be safe. See you later.